Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, discount code TDL for 25% off. Also, make sure you hit up Homage. I got the wrong up there. The QR code first, because you want to use the QR code to get to Homage. Right. And then once you get there, you get you a Mendoza shirt for 15% off. So make sure you guys support the channel that way. Get those Mendoza shirts as well. And also make sure you check out the Taped Online store. TapedOnline.store. Get you some Taped Online gear there. Support the channel that way too. All right. So today we're doing a little kind of late free agency, right? It's a little late free agency signings here. We're going to do some Bonito Jones and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Bonito Jones and Kirk Cousins.
I feel like it's like the free agency catch-up episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kirk Cousins was signed like shortly before the draft, I think, if I remember correctly. And then Benito Jones was like right after they didn't end up getting a nose tackle or not one until the 7th round. So now we've gotten through the draft picks and a few undrafted free agents. Time to catch up on a couple of late veteran free agent signings.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask, Matthew, did you try to do Spencer Burford and then went with Benito Jones? Is that what happened, or how did that?
It was more so I just was like, I'm going to stay on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't know. I imagine the Spencer Buford tape isn't much better than the Benito Jones tape. I don't know.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess we haven't. Although Buford wasn't really like a late signing, right? Well, I mean, not like right away, but like he was before the draft, right? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like that second week of free agency, I feel like, if I remember correctly. So
1 year, like $5 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was just a low amount, just a 1 year deal,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So OTAs was this week. He has some more OTAs where the media was available, and they have some media availability. So some interesting things to me was like the O line, still Burford, but Charles Grant's playing right tackle.
Yeah,
which is very positive. Right. Maybe you can see what he looks like. Hopefully he plays right tackle the whole OTAs, mini camp, training camp, preseason. We want to see all of that. So what are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, the starting line I saw, it's pretty much chalk, like what you would expect at this point. I mean, who's starting right now doesn't really make a difference, right? We're sitting here at the end of May, and season doesn't even start till September. So I wasn't surprised with who was out there. I did like to see that JPJ was in the starting lineup at right guard, just to kind of ease any concerns, because I know there was a little bit of hesitation about that with how it's gone so far over the last 2 years. But and I'm with you. I love the fact that Charles Grant's getting snaps at right tackle, and confirmed that he's going to be involved, or him and Glaze are going to be competing back and forth with each other between now and the end of August. So I'm excited to see that. But again, yeah, there's a lot of chalk. And then Trey Zoom gets some snaps at right tackle too. And it sounds like a little bit at guard too. I think he was guard 1 week or tackle maybe the first week, and then guard the second week, something like that. So they're kind of putting him on the typical versatile offensive lineman plan, where they kind of go back and forth this time of year of playing multiple spots. So that was another interesting one for me to see, just because it seemed like from all like the chatter after the draft, like coming from, or all the messaging coming out of the draft, was kind of that it seemed like he was going to play on the inside, but he is in fact going to factor into the right tackle competition, which I think is good, because at the very least we know he can be a good pass blocker. And if those other two aren't keeping Mendoza protected, then you have someone to turn to that has some experience playing on that side and can keep the quarterback upright, ideally.
Yeah. I mean, they got to, especially at right tackle, they just got to make sure that they're kind of working out what Charles Grant wants to do, or trying to see how he could play, just how he looks. That's what we want to see. We want to see how he looks. Trey Zimbu moved around. I mean, it's positive that he's getting some more looks at guard. We can't really see how they look right now because there's no pads on, so it's really this alignment at this point, right? I mean, they're not doing anything crazy, right? I mean, that's why all like the things get tweeted out, just passing plays, and a lot of 7-on-7. But yeah, so the offensive line, it looks like it's set, it's there. It's not set, but I think it's going to be some changes.
They have the foundation, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. If they had to start today, they probably start these guys, right? Because Burford knows the offense probably better than most of these guys. Glaze is the veteran. He's basically the veteran right tackle at this point. He knows what year 3, but he is the veteran right tackle. and then you got Miller, you got Linderbaum, you got JPJ out there. Probably if they had to play right now in May, that's, I mean, there
That's
could
what
be
it is.
changes. But we'll see how they elevate a little bit there. Kirk Cousins threw an interception in 7-on-7. I don't know how I feel about that, but then I'm doing him today. So I thought that was interesting. I'm not a big fan of that. If you are a fan of the channel, so that happened. I know that happened. But Mendoza, of course, he threw a touchdown to EJ Williams or something. He had a great throw to EJ Williams.
There we go.
Which
what did we say the other day? We said the other day, the best thing to happen to EJ Williams is the fact that Mendoza's starting as QB too, so they can get that chemistry. Mm-hmm. Dude's gonna get peppered with like 100 targets the first week of training camp.
Yeah. And it's mostly been Brock Bowers out there. Brock Bowers, and maybe a Trey Tucker tweet in between, and Brock Bowers. So he's out there dominating for sure. But don't sleep on LC. ALC's getting some tweets out there too, man. ALC's out there.
Nice. Good for AOC.
So good for him, man. Good for him.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's all good to hear. The thing I like too is like what you're talking about with the Brock Bowers, like what was it? I almost said robot chicken, the football robot from heaven.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the fact that he's like one of the main focuses, or what seems like he's one of the main focuses in OTA so far, like that just tells me like the gears are turning in Clint Kubiak's head. He's like, oh, I'm thinking of all the ways I can use this dude. I'm going to put him as the hinge. We're going to put him on that little jet sweep that he ran at Georgia and used to take to the house and stuff like that. So I'm very excited to see what Clint Kubiak is cooking up for Brock Bowers. And I like hearing that he's very clearly the focal point, which isn't a surprise, but the fact that it's like, all right, you can tell Kubiak's like just sitting in the lab, like, how do I use this guy? How do I use this? How do I use this football robot from heaven?
Exactly. And the thing is, since he's never had that tight end as in his offense, I bet it's a challenge for him. And he's taking it as a challenge, and you can just tell by his mentality, like this is like I've never had like that tight end, and how I use him and making him the main target. I bet he's finding ways, because I mean, just reading some of the tweets, he's up to seam and stuff like that. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm
kind of curious. Did he have Hawkinson at Minnesota, or was Hawkinson the year after?
I think it was
maybe for like a year.
I don't think he would. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I wonder too, like if he like do some obviously not the passing stuff like that, but if he tried to like do some stuff, some like Taysom Hill like stuff with Bowers a little bit, because that's kind of like a little, I hate to say that's a comp for him, but like, you know what I mean? Where like Taysom Hill's a super versatile guy and Bowers can be used in that versatile type of role. Obviously Taysom Hill's like more of a gadget player, but I wonder if we could see some parallels between how Hill was used, obviously sans the passing, and see if that maybe is somewhat of what Kubiak was thinking from his Saints days. Come back to the Saints days.
Hawkinson was in Detroit when he was in Minnesota.
That's right. I forgot that he got traded there. I forgot that. Yeah.
All right. So today we're doing Bonito Jones and Kirk Cousins. So Matt, tell us a little bit about Bonito Jones, who is kind of the starting nose tackle at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's this was a signing to me that like feels like a kind of what I was talking about at the jump, where like Raiders obviously didn't draft the nose tackle until the 7th round, and Brandon Cleveland's a little bit even questionable for that nose tackle role. This felt like the signing of like, hey, we didn't end up walking away from one with the draft. Let's get a veteran in here that's just an insurance policy in case any of the young guys can't figure it out, so that we have some sort of semblance of like of a run stuffer in the middle, and that we don't just get gashed. Mm-hmm. That being said, if anybody has a PFF subscription, you can look up Benito Jones' run defense grade. And look, feel how you want about PFF. I'm not trying to say it's the end all be all, but when the 4 years you've gotten a significant amount of snaps, you're below the 50s, tells you a little bit about it. And on top of it, the fact that he was available after the draft. Usually the good veterans that are available after the draft are the guys like I think Calais Campbell signed after the draft, like a DJ Reader, where like they're just looking for an opportunity. They're just kind of they just didn't like the offers they were getting in that first wave, and then trying to find find a home after the draft. Bonito Jones, I guarantee, just didn't have that much interest. Like, he's a guy that, to me, if he's starting, if he's playing nose tackle and even really kind of making the team, like that means somebody didn't step up. That means they got disappointed with some of the young guys. So that being said, like he does have some run stuffing ability. I'm not trying to say he's completely inept player. He had a handful of good games last year, and we'll take a look at I think I have like 10 10 tackles that he made, 10 stops that he ended up making last year, something around there. So he definitely has some ability, but again, there's a reason why he was available late. He's about to turn 29, or he's going to turn 29 this season. So he's not exactly like a young guy that you're kind of bringing in free agency, not like a Quay Walker, where Quay Walker has his flaws, but Quay Walker is only 25 and can still grow. Benito Jones kind of is who he is at this point, and it's not great, but if you look at the Raiders roster, like he does kind of fill a need. So does offer something a little bit against the run, where he can make plays. He can beat one-on-one blocks against centers and whatnot. But for the most part, like you're hoping Bonito Jones doesn't play.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
But still pay attention for the breakdown.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you don't want him playing. He's kind of the same thing as Burford. Like if Benito Jones was coming off the bench, right? You had a starting nose tackle, and then you had Bonito Jones who came in like as depth. Yeah, you feel different about it, right? It's kind of that outlook to me, because is he a good NFL player? Probably not. But if you need like a couple games for somebody to play nose tackle, he could probably get it done. It's just the problem is if he is starting for you, that's when everything changes, right? And that's kind of how I feel about Burford. It's like, okay, maybe Burford, somebody got hurt and Burford had to come in and play. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be serviceable, but it's when Burford has to play 14 games, that's when we have a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll put it this way: if JJ Pegues wins the nose tackle job and he's the starting nose tackle, and Benito Jones maybe beats out like Gary Smith and maybe even like a Brandon Cleveland, you're okay with that because you have the young guy that's sitting there on top of the depth chart and getting playing time. It's the issue is if he's your best option.
Yeah.
So
exactly,
because if he's your best option, if he's your starting nose tackle. When we start the offseason breakdowns next year, we're going to be talking about nose tackles.
Again. We're going to be looking at the big boys again.
Yeah.
All right. So today I'm doing Kirk Cousins. Cousins' film really did I don't say it shocked me. It just was better than I thought it was. Right. I thought it was, when I went into it, I remember when I watched it the first time a couple months ago, it just caught me off guard that he was still making some of the throws that he could make. Right. But it's also, the issue with him is that he can't move right now. He's basically a statue. He can't. There's no athleticism. I mean, he didn't have any coming into the league. So imagine at 38? He's 38 now. Right.
Yeah. I think he turns 30. If he's not 38, he turns 38 at the beginning of the season. If I remember.
Yeah. So, that body's not moving no more. Okay, so he's a statue. So that's why it's important for the Raiders if they're going to throw him out there too. Because honestly, I think we talk about the offensive line, people talk about like, what would be worse if he put Mendoza? He might get. I mean, but if the offensive line is bad, right? I mean, Cousins is going to be in trouble because the Falcons' offensive line isn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, and there's still moments when, sometimes. He does the Kirk Cousins stuff where he just maybe just hold the ball too long, and it's just different now that he's 38. Like it's not he's not going to get away with that stuff as much, right? And especially he doesn't have the arm either to kind of when he's under pressure consistently to kind of make these type of throws. And that's really the big thing too is that since he is a statue, that that could be an issue. But I mean, in play action, he's still. I mean, he's low-key great in play action still. I mean, he makes some great throws in play action. He was great in the red zone last year, really effective in the red zone, just to be consistent. That's why he's able to throw the touchdowns he threw in the games he did play. And, he ate with Kyle Pitts. And I think that's what excites Kubiak too about him playing quarterback. Like him and Pitts, like he got Pitts money. You know what I mean? Like he I don't think Pitts was about to hit the free agency if Kirk Cousins come in there and start. He's having 3 touchdown games and stuff like that against Tampa Bay, and it just changed everything for Kyle Pitts. So I bet he's probably Kyle Pitts' favorite quarterback. He talks to Kirk a lot still. He's like, "Hey, Kirk, man, check it out. You do it." So I just want to say thank you again, man. I appreciate you.
Hits him with the "you up."
Yeah, you up, man? buddy. And I get it. I get it, Kyle. So so he's Kirk Cousins still, right?
Yeah.
But he's 38. I mean, it's basically how this film is. So it's really no other way to explain it. I can't go into like really nitpicking him and like whatever you didn't like about Kirk Cousins, just like elevate that a little bit more because it's going to show more because he's older, basically.
Yeah. I mean, he's 38 and I guess 3 years now removed, but like 3 years removed from shortly removed from a torn Achilles. So yeah, I wouldn't expect much, but I mean, the one thing I will say, like I thought I was ready to write him off after what was it, that 2024 season, and then the Falcons offense was better last year with Kirk Cousins over Michael Penix. Now Penix was playing terrible, so that's not saying too much, but like that team they started getting competitive. They started winning games after they got eliminated. And a big part of it was they were getting a lot better quarterback play than they were getting at the beginning of the season. So there's still some hope, and I think like he can swing it a little bit. It's so funny with Kirk Cousins for me, like him on the field, like that's like I feel like that's like his like third most important responsibility. Yeah. First and foremost is getting Fernando Mendoza ready, being his mentor, and like getting him prepped and mental and like whatnot to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And then second is being like the leader in the locker room and being like the veteran voice for a young team. And then whatever he gives you on the field for however long he's going to start, that's just like an added bonus. So if he can play well and be serviceable, like that's a nice thing. So, and I definitely think he's probably still got that, I think, in his bag. I don't think he'll screw it up too bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Manage the game a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's just a problem. Like if the right tackle position is not good, he's going to be fumbling a lot. So you just have to deal with that, I guess. Let's do Kirk Cousins first. Let's give us to Kirk. All right. So of course, you always start with little short passes here when it comes to quarterback plays. You get a little Omaha, right? A little old school West Coast Omaha here, which you get a little. You call this sticks a little bit, right? Where you're getting this kind of little hitch, but you get this quick out here on this one, especially when you're playing against off coverage where it's cover 3 or whatever, where it looks like the Saints are playing here. Just going to get that easy read. You can just see how quick he just sees things. He's still a veteran. Yeah. If it's 10 yards, it's a little zip. If it's 10 yards, if it's within 10 yards, you get a little zip there. A little zip. So this one, I mean, like I said, this is still a 10-yard throw. So like it's you can see the zip right there. A little bit, not too much. This way he got some blitz, and he's getting this out route here from Mooney. I guess Gerald Mooney, right? Mooney. Yeah, he's getting this little quick out route here. I think typical Brand Staley stuff. They're playing his little quarters, man. Right? kind of the man matching quarters here, because that's what you see. They're still playing man. He's got a man lock on this one, but he just reads this quickly, sees where he's got the out. He's got good anticipation on it, and then he's able to get that ball accurately. You could see it floating a little bit. I mean, you can see it floating a little bit, but he can still get out there. He's under pressure. It's a good throw. Yeah. You kind of see him under pressure here. So, it's what I'm saying. The pressure doesn't scare Kirk, which kind of leads to fumbles. You just see he is tough in the pocket. He's tough. Yeah. Get some blitz right there. Get that throw out there. First down. All right. And this is the most zip you're going to get out of Kirk Cousins on this throw. Now, I'll let it run real quick. This is the most zip you're getting right there. All right. Like I said, 10 yards, man.
Thread the needle a little bit?
Yeah, thread the needle a little bit here. I just want to say 87 has the worst drop I've ever seen later on in this film. So that's some foreshadowing here, guys. Oh, a little interesting concept here, because you're kind of, I really don't know what the hell this is. I can't lie. I think Pitts is supposed to. I don't know, but there's a return route here on this side, right? And I think Cousins has good timing here, because I think this is a little bit of a timing issue with the accuracy, because he's trying to get rid of this ball here, but he kind of throws a little bit behind there, right? So it's like almost intercepted. Maybe he's trying to protect him from this linebacker here, maybe. Because maybe trying to protect him. They're just way too close together for me. This play annoyed me, but he completed. You could see the zip. Yeah, like that type of spacing annoys me in the NFL. All right, but like I said, the best place where he really shines is the red zone. Okay, so I'm gonna let this one run, but you're like I said, you'll see the arm strength on some of this, which I'll kind of highlight that later, but you can just see it on this one. The safety is able to get over there a lot quicker.
Yeah. And he threw that on time too. Safety, they made a play on the ball.
It's a good throw though, right?
Yeah.
And you like to read, like I said, he does a good job with his eyes, right? Because he holds his safety with his eyes, right? And he knows where he's going with this football because he got a little slow release here from Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
And then boom, hits it. Yeah. Kyle Pitts just made so much money. He's like, look at this money. Right? off this game. This game was on national TV. They beat the Bucs.
Thursday night. I remember watching this. This was a crazy game.
All right. Here's another one. Just to say, in the red zone, he is just efficient. He always makes the right decision. Like you don't see a lot of picks from him in the red zone, to be honest. What I like about this one is just how he reads this out because he's hitting Pitts right here in this mesh concept. Yeah. He gets a touchdown right there. Right, because he starts to his left. He's got. I mean, I don't like the spacing. This is kind of a Patriots ass play where they have this kind of thing where they do this mesh over the top of it. Yeah, the 3 meshes type of thing. But it works because it looks like what the Bucs are doing.
I think they get caught in man.
Yeah, they get caught in man and they guard the wrong guy.
Switch it. Yeah.
And they get caught up right there and leaves Kyle Pitts wide open. Can't be making that mistake week 13, man. That's bad. But they make the playoffs right there.
And, I was gonna say, and that's how the Bucs don't make the playoffs. I think this game was like the deciding factor too, because this led to the 3-way tie to the NFC South. Yeah.
And honestly, what I like about this Cousins throw is that he doesn't like try to whip this ball like to him. He just tosses it to him. He's wide open. Just give him the ball. All right, this is one of his better throws here. To be honest, kind of show his timing right there.
Yeah. He's like robotic, but in like a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just goes through. He's like a machine going through his reads, like open, not open. You know?
Yeah, and it's like I just like how because you see it. My bad. Because it looks like you're just getting some more, Brandon Staley special quarters here. They're a little confused. Right now, like you have the double post here. You see the safeties right here. It's going to cover up Pitts. I mean, he probably could throw it to Pitts, but he doesn't have the arm for that anymore. You get Pitts. This is a great decision by Kirk Cousins. He sees as soon as his safety follows Pitts, they got this little kind of, double coverage, basically, in my opinion. He got 87 right back of the end zone. Bam, perfect throw, touchdown, right in rhythm. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he plays, it could be like he's who I think he is. You might be able to get. I don't know. I don't know how long he holds off Mendoza. Like, it would have to be him playing terrible, right? All right. So start off with play action here. Like this is where he's very consistent. I think this is where he also handles the pocket a lot better from play action. Under center, these play action throws. But we get play action. He's going to try to hit Mooney on this out route here, right? But his guys are beat. He's got to step up in the pocket. Looks like they're just playing some cover 3 here. And it's a good route by Mooney. But you see he's able to kind of step up and get as much as he can on this throw. As much as he can. This is a 15-yard, this is a 20-yard throw. He got as much as he can. It's a great catch by Mooney. But let me see if I have this one backside, I believe. But this one's more like how more comfortable he is in play action right now because he's able to step up under pressure. He kind of falls for no reason, to be honest. But kind of see the clumsiness, but
he falls for safety because if he tries to stay up, he's popping a knee.
All right, so you get another play action here. Now this one, I just hope Kubiak steals this one because this is like a Y leak with a wheel. Watch. So you get a play action with the bootleg outside zone, right? But then you get the Pitts blocking, and then he goes upfield here, right?
Y leak, and they fake the screen.
Yeah.
That's a nice play.
Boom. It's a great throw by Cousins.
Yeah, that was a dime. Yeah. All right, Kirk. All right.
This is a great throw right here. This is a great play. Steal this, Clint. I hope Clint watched this and he just wrote this down.
Yeah, it's a great design. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great play.
Deception.
All right, and then we even get him on a deep route here. We get a little Yankee concept for the win. Look at that, Kirk. Get some arm on it. 50-yard throw right there.
All right.
You probably needed some ice after this one for sure.
He's like, he lets it go and just gets an audible ow.
But this, like I said, this is him. He's Kirk Cousins, man. He's seen his coverages.
Yeah.
As soon as you take this safety, he's throwing it over the top.
Yeah.
And with timing too, great timing. That's how he got this ball there. It's the timing.
Yeah.
Boom, right there, touchdown. So boom, play action. So you get in that, you just right there, right on the money.
That was week 18, right? That was the last week of the season.
I think so. No. That was like week 9 or something like that.
Oh,
okay. He's like one of his first starts.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Here's another good one against the Seahawks here. This is kind of him just his ability to kind of just read zone. Like he's seen every coverage, getting the play action, kind of the same thing. You play action, you get in the crosser from Pitts here, and at this point you even see him throwing the ball. He is anticipating this window and this corner. He's already driving on Bijan. They're so worried about Bijan.
Yeah.
Right. That helps a lot, but this is still a good throw right there on the money.
That linebacker's pissing me off too. He just back up. He works for depth and then sees Kyle Pitts running across the field and just stops. Like right now, you're good. You're good. No, never mind. I guess he didn't see him maybe.
All right. This is my favorite Kirk Cousins throw. All right, this isn't even play action. I just put this in here because it's just a great throw on this one. It's just a dive right there, Bo, on this little smash concept. Yeah, and they got destroyed by the Seahawks, by the way, because he got sacked like 80 times. But look at that, just
that's
nice.
Not open either.
No,
he throws Pitts open, and that's even Maury. Was even Warren 3?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's Nicky. Yeah, that's Yumi Yori. This is a great throw. Like, you look at this placement on this one. Look at that. I tell you, Kyle Pitts is texting him every day, bro. I'm telling you, he's texting him every day. All right, here's another play action. I really like this one too, because you see here how he's able to get to that second read and then hit Kyle Pitts right there on the money, and he's just ultimately right there.
Kyle Pitts blew a tire.
Yeah, looks like it. All right, so you get the play action here, right? And they're playing man to man. And what I like is that he basically has this crosser here across the field, right? I mean, you can make the case that maybe he could throw that ball. You can make the case, right? He doesn't like it because maybe he's a safety at the top. I don't know. I'm not sure, but he knows he is man to man, so he comes backside to Kyle Pitts. But it's a nice throw under pressure too, and he made a good throw. All right, and this is his a great throw too. Here you got blitz here, kind of get basically a 9-8-9 concept here, but you get the kind of the 8 from Pitts and then the go, and then, they're coming with it. Todd Bowles is like, Kirk Cousins can't move. I'm coming with it every single time, and so they get this man-to-man coverage. The guy's so worried about Pitts, and then this guy at the top falls, and he just makes a great read.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I still don't understand why you try to catch it like this, bro. Like, what? Where do you? Come on, dog. You understand? It's like a great throw under pressure. Getting popped. Toss like a rag doll.
That was such an awkward fall. Like cartoon
like that.
Fall.
That's who's that? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, that's yeah.
That looks like I heard right. All right, and then like I said, sometimes it's just he's just old. There's a lot of it. Like this one, maybe he could hit 87. Like, but he's kind of just holding the ball too long. Right, like you just kind of need to make a decision quicker here on this one. Like,
yeah,
he's got 87 underneath, right? You don't.
In his defense, I wouldn't throw 87 the ball again after that one you just showed.
But he's
play with 10.
Okay, right, and he's just under pressure, and he just throws it. I feel like this is intentional grounding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it was. There's no running back over here. There's nobody here.
I think Algier was technically there.
Oh yeah, there he is. Oh yeah, technically. Oh,
Yeah.
Get
but that should be grounding. But the spirit of the rule, that should be grounding.
Right. And then here's another one here. Like, he's trying to hit this dig route, right? He's trying to hit this dig right here to Mooney, but they're playing cover 5 here, right? You should just tell by the trail technique to playing cover 5. And to me, he's got to feel this pressure that's coming around the corner. Like, just get rid of this ball, right? Because I don't even think I don't know if it's third down. Is it third down? I forgot.
I can't see the down marker.
No, yeah. But what happens is he's waiting on this dig, and he's just waiting on it, and then ball comes out.
Yeah. That one he locked onto a read.
Yeah. Yeah, he just gives the damn ball, Kirk. And then, just the arm strength issues. This was just funny because it's just like just how long this ball got to be Josh Robinson.
He had 2 hops into it, just waiting for it.
It just took a while. On that one. And then this last one here, it's just an out route here. Kind of the same concept they did before, with a little smash return concept. And he has no pressure here. It's just like, look at it just dies. The ball. It's just dying pass there. Yeah. So that's Kirk Cousins, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. The one thing I was like happy to see about it, like, I don't know, this was a while ago, so people probably don't remember, but like when the Raiders were gearing up to play the Falcons on Monday Night Football in 2024, like I dove into some Kirk Cousins and what he had been looking like. And if you guys remember, he got benched after he played the Raiders. And he was making like a lot of mental errors or just bad decisions with the ball and stuff like that, and making like a lot of rookie mistakes. And then part of it, like, it came out like after the fact, like that Netflix The Quarterback show, like when he was talking about it, he was like, yeah, like my body was failing me, and I just was pressing too much and whatnot. Yeah. So the fact that he's not doing that anymore, like, is kind of more encouraging to me, because that was my concern when like there was even like the chatter bringing him in. It's like, yeah, he's a veteran, but like if you do have to play him, like that's just stuck in my mind of him just making bad decision after bad decision and eventually getting benched for it when he had that run where he had like 12 picks and no touchdowns and like over like a month span or something like that. Yeah. So I'm glad to see like that's kind of like he's gotten that back out of his game, and it's a little bit more like him being on time. Like you said at the very, like, the physical limitations with you that you're getting with Kirk Cousins, with the 38-year-old quarterback. He's not going to move. He's not going to have a strong arm, but if you can get the ball out on time and like operate the offense like it functions and how it's supposed to function, like you might actually be able to get away with them for a handful of weeks and kind of keep the ship afloat at the very least. So yeah, that was definitely a lot more encouraging than I was expecting. I mean, the arm looks like it's never going to be what it was before, a few years ago, but it looks a lot better than it was 2 years ago when, again, he's coming off the Achilles and then battling like another injury throughout the season. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably where if he's starting, into November, where we're looking at the Raiders seasons like, hey, this guy might start getting beat up, because the last time he got to this point, it was not so pretty. And obviously last year just started half the season for the Falcons, a little bit less than half the season. So yeah, there's definitely a sweet spot, and there's definitely a clock on Kirk Cousins where you can't get away with him for too much longer. But if we're talking 6-8 weeks to begin the year, I think he can keep the ship afloat.
I agree. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. And that's kind of what I went into it. But, it looks like, he could be functional, because the Falcons were like 5-3 last year. It wasn't like they, you played good defense with them. I mean, when he started, they had a winning record. So you can talk about who they played or whatever you want to get into that. But it still happened, right? I mean, he's very serviceable. He's still, a guy. He has all the mind is still there. It's just limited to physical limitations that are kind of fading.
Again, he was better. The Falcons' offense was better when they had him at quarterback versus the guy that they're expected to start this season, unless Tua beats out Penix.
Yeah.
So
it's a possibility.
Which is good, but neither option's great.
Exactly. All right, let's get into Benito Jones, bro.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna start with the one sack he had last year for our one pass rush clip, and part of the reason why I want to include it is does go against Linderbaum, which was interesting, but you can see a little bit more of a coverage sack or a little bit more of what I would call a Lamar sack, where he just holds on to the ball too long and dances around the pocket. But I do like what he did do a pretty good job of is like just getting into Linderbaum and then kind of playing into him like this play action pass, and like you can see a little bit of the run defense skills, and then he just keeps his feet moving and just turns it into a pass rush rep, and obviously ends up getting the cleanup sack there. But where he makes his bread and butter, and again, this is kind of where he made the majority of his plays last season, was just beating base blocks, beating one-on-one opportunities. He took it to Cade Mays in a handful of these reps. So if you do want to sell yourself on Bonito Jones, go back and watch this Panthers game and then the game against the Chargers, because we'll see a handful of clips against Mays that are a lot like this one, where he just wins at the point of attack. Like you can see, like the technique's not great. Like he's not great form. Like he almost stumbles and falls, puts himself on his butt on this one, but he just recovers and has the strength to get off that block and then go make that tackle. I think right at the line of scrimmage on that one. This one was a lot better technique-wise, did a better job of keeping his base underneath him. And then you can see the upper body strength on this one, right? Like he's not the longest dude in the world, but he just bench presses Mays off of him and gets that extension to plug up this A-gap. And then it's a perfect two-gap or gap and a half technique where once he sees Dowdle commit to this side, just cross the face, go make the play. So it does have some odd front abilities to him where he can stand up centers and whatnot. I mean, same basic thing. Yeah, you see the same thing again. Doing a great job just taking away both A gaps. So crossing face and make the tackle on that one, but just didn't happen often enough.
Consistent enough.
Yeah,
inconsistent.
And if you'll notice, this is against a lot of lower competition. Mays is not the greatest center. This is not the Saints starting center. That's not Eric McCoy in there. I don't even know. Is that Luke Fortner in there? I'm not even sure. But again, same kind of thing. This one against old Taysom Hill. So he can park himself in the A-gap. And he's got the strength to bench press centers off of him and then get extension to make plays, but just not very consistent on this one. This one was a pretty good rep against good competition. I think that's Lindstorm, maybe. Yeah. Nice job on this outside zone play. What I like about this more than anything is once he recognizes outside zone, like you watch his eyes, he'll get it right to the guard. Boom, just play into that guy. Not very tall, so he has some natural leverage. And then just bench presses him again. Gets off that block and gets Bijan for no gain. The one thing I did really like about his game that stood out to me is he plays down blocks pretty well. Like you'll see him here at the 2-eye going up. Like, is that McGovern? I can't remember who the Bill starting center was, but
yeah, it's McGovern.
Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Yeah, Bill. So better competition on this one. Again, just that upper body strength. That's pretty damn impressive. Like you see, he does a good job of uncorking the hips here too. Yeah, again, gets extension. Nice tight hands. Doesn't let McGovern get lock onto him, and then just crosses the face just enough to get Cook on the ground. Get another down block here on this one. For whatever reason, the Bills just tried to run power the entire game, and to Jones's credit, he did a good job responding. Yeah, nice job too, plugging up that inside gap, closing the gap with the man. Enough control of the rep to go make the tackle.
Didn't the Bills lose that game?
They might have. I don't quite remember, but yeah, off the top of my head, I don't remember. Same thing here against the Commanders. And what I will say too, this is to make this even more encouraging. That's Biotic, who the Chargers just signed as their starting center now. I mean, he beats him here on this one. Again, you see resets the line of scrimmage. You see the power and the strength he has. I mean, big as hell. Got a big old belly too. Mm-hmm. He looks the part of a nose tackle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see where he struggles at, because I mean, he looks like he has the technique for it. Well, I guess there's some high pad level there, but
yeah, his technique's not great. Like it's not. He kind of like this one. Like he gets his hands way too high and way too wide. Like his technique's not great. It's not consistent. He's just, and then he kind of locks his knees kind of pretty quick. So if he doesn't win immediately, he's not gonna recover.
Okay,
the biggest thing. Yeah, this one a lot better too. This one, I guess we're getting into the combo blocks. This is a much better job again. What I like that he does on this one is just sink his hips, like you see, he drops that knee to kind of like turn his body here and make that reduce that surface for that guard to block him, and it ends up making a tackle. That was pretty rare. Most of the time, he was getting beat by combo blocks. Guess Chargers here on this one. What I like too is like you see like on this, he like recognizes it and like makes that conceited effort to get not quite skinny, but get low and get into that or split these two offensive linemen and not let them get hip to hip on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't make the tackle on that one, but ends up getting in the play. So
See, he kept it positive there. I see he kept it positive.
I kept it positive. I'm not, again, I was hard enough on the intro that I don't need to get into all of that. But just to show you guys a little bit of what he can do. Again, I think he's not bad at beating one-on-one opportunities, but again, the majority of those reps were against a lot of backups and stuff like that. So just that's the one thing to keep in mind is the technique, and then the execution goes down when the competition level rises. So
yeah, that makes sense. You can see when you're watching him that like it's probably like one of those things like inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
Where like maybe a fan might think he's better than he actually is because of like he'll make a play in the run, but like the film will be showing him get pushed back like 3 plays later. It's gonna be one of those things with Benito Jones. So we'll see how he does in compared to competitions like Gary Smith and guys like that, but because those guys got a little bit to learn and they might feel comfortable with him just because he has that veteran presence. But it does feel like a leaky Fotu type of thing. It does.
Yeah, this is the holdover type of deal, which I don't know. I might rather have Fotu, but yeah. It's funny you bring that up. Like I could see something happening where like Bonito Jones gets a TFL and gets praised on social media, and then like you go back and watch, and it's like, yeah, but what about the 9 other plays where he's getting driven 9 yards back? So he's that type of player where he might make one play that goes noticed, but sometimes what he does wrong doesn't get highlighted.
Yeah, it's kind of like Thomas Booker. That's like how I feel about Thomas Booker.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Ulu is kind of the same way.
Fans love Thomas Booker, man. You can't tell it. They will. If you did Thomas Booker, you put some slander here, man, we might have some hate comments.
Probably.
Yeah. He's a guy. They love his hustle. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, we'll be doing more free agent deep dives or looking at some of these guys, these players, and how this outlook of the season, kind of the rest of the summer, as we are in dead season. Check out. Hopefully, you have checked out Friday Night Live. We're doing the Raiders bracket here for the 2000s. We're at the quarterfinals. You got Terrell Pryor versus Jacobs, Harris versus Mac, pick 6. You got McFadden versus Denver, Rod Wilson, pick 6, and Jacoby Ford and versus Chiefs and Ronald Curry. So that's the quarterfinals today. So I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already saw it. But if you haven't and you don't watch Friday Night Live, that's what we were doing on that show. All right, but we're out of here, guys. Any thoughts, man, on that pool? I
was gonna say the 2 plays that like stuck out in my mind that like when you talk about like best plays in the last handful of years, that like the 2 that would come to mind would be the Dwayne Harris punt return against the Broncos on Monday Night Football and the Khalil Mack pick 6 against the Panthers, and they're going head to head. So I don't know. I felt like I needed to have a little more influence on the rankings so we can get those guys facing off in the championship. But that's a Tyco quarterfinals matchup. I don't know where I go between those 2. Might go Max.
Yeah. You got a point there. Man.
That's a good match. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that like gets down to it. When you get down to it, there's like seeding them is impossible.
Yeah, that was really one of the hardest things. I was like, I'm not even going to try to seed them. I'm going to be like, what's the best matchups and how it could end up? I mean, which ones should I keep away from each other? That's kind of how I did the bracket. So
yeah, is did the Thursday night football game against the Chiefs, the one where that was like 40, it was like 40, and they had the 40 to 38 or whatever that had like all the
no, see, I think that one
nothing from there.
I feel like that was more of like a moment than like a play.
Yeah.
Like, is that one play? It was like 4 down.
Just do all 8 of those like of those 2-point conversions or whatever they were, the goal at the goal line.
Yeah.
The one that could go from that game is the flea flicker to Amari Cooper. I think that was like the second play of the game for like a 50-yard touchdown. You remember that one? That was a good one.
Yeah. He had like 210 yards that game, didn't he?
Yeah, he went off. Yeah. He had a hell of a game that year. And Crab had a good game too. I think Crab was the one who caught the game winner.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, Cards like 400 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
Big game. All right. So guys, we are out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, peace.